Today we are making a video on Voyager 23.04 stable version. So here is a beta menu of the Voyager 23.04. So I am running it on a virtual machine, which is a VMware with 80 GB of hard disk and 4 GB of RAM and 2 processors. Let's click on enter. It's going to take a maximum of 1 minute to get to the desktop, or like 30 to 40 seconds minimum. It is the usual timing of every Linux distro, so it's going to boot in this timing. So this is a stable version, so if you want to try it, you can try it. It's available in their official website. And here is a Voyager logo loading. And try to ignore the background noise, because random things are going around my neighborhood, like construction, kids are screaming, kids are playing. So just ignore the sounds, even the keyboard and mouse sound. So it's going to take a few more seconds, and we should be having our desktop layout. And the desktop environment for Voyager should be like a GNOME desktop environment or the Xfce. I don't know. Let's go. I forgot, because I made a lot of videos on Voyager Linux in previous videos, but I make 2 videos daily without missing, so it's going to hard to remember what desktop environment was it for the Voyager Linux, because making 2 videos daily without missing is a very hard thing. I hope you understand that. And it almost took like a 20 to 30 seconds already, but we should be having our desktop layout in any second, because there is a mouse pointer. As you can see, I'll show you. Here is a mouse pointer with yellow color, and my recording screen recorder is also highlights the color. Ignore that thing, because I think the pointer is also with yellow color. So here is our desktop layout, almost about to complete the load, and we should be having any second our desktop layout. This is the new wallpaper, and I forgot to mention that I already made a beta version of a Voyager Linux. If you want, you can see that, or you can just go with the stable version. Here is the stable version. Ignore the noise, kids are playing behind my house. It usually taking a lot of time this time, because the beta version was a bit faster, I guess, but this is a stable version and it's based on Ubuntu. So here is our option of using the Voyager Linux, because it's based on Ubuntu, so it's always going to give the option like a live boot or a installation. If you ask me, it's a better option always to boot it in a live mode. After you're satisfied with the live mode without any bugs, you can go with the installation process. So it's always a better option to go with a live mode. So first you need to choose your language. Here are plenty of languages available right now. I'm going to choose English because I want to use English as the language. So I want to boot it in a live mode. So let's try Voyager. Don't worry about the installation process. I'm going to show you the installation process later in the video. So just wait for a few more seconds. There should be installation tutorial also in the video. Not the tutorial, but I'm going to show you the fast run through of the installation process. And again, after clicking the try the live mode, it's going to take a few more seconds, like a maximum of 15 seconds or 20 seconds sometimes. We don't know. Depends on the distro, depends on the PC. And it took almost like a 12 seconds, I guess. So let's change the display resolution, because I'm running it in a VMware and this is the odd setting. So let me change this display setting. And it's a GNOME desktop environment. You know how to go to the settings of a display by right clicking. You should be having your display setting. Again, it's taking a lot of time. Maybe it should be a heavyweight Linux distro or a midweight Linux distro. If it was a lightweight Linux distro, it should boot up or load up in a few seconds. But it is taking, even for display settings, it's going to take like 10 to 15 seconds. I don't know. It is taking a lot of time to just the settings. So let's wait for a few more seconds and we should be having our display. There is a maximum or minimum delay there. I don't know why display setting didn't open. Let's try it again to open the display settings. As you can see, there is a loading going beside the display here in the top panel. It is taking a lot of time or delay, so it didn't open again. So let's go with the system monitor and see what is going on with the system resources. Let me find the system resources, which should be in utilities, I guess. It's not in utilities, maybe it should be here. System monitor is separate. So let's try to open the system monitor also. We got our display settings now after a minute of a struggle. I'm using a 1920 into 1080 monitor, so I should choose the 1920 into 1080 with a 16:9 ratio, and click on apply. And here is our display resolution. And if you can't see the text or a font size properly, you can go to fractional scaling or go with the scaling like a 200%. With 1920 into 1080, 200% will be way bigger. So it's always better to go with the fractional scaling and choose the 150%. 150% is the best option. That's my opinion. It's clearly up to you. You can change up to 120. 120 is also good. 120% is also good. So let's check the about the system info, which is Voyager Linux, and I'm running it on a VMware, which is a virtualization with a 4 GB of RAM, 12 Gen i5 CPU. If you want, you can check that out too. This capacity is 80 GB. I chose 80 GB. It always says 85.9 GB. We don't know why. Operating system name is Voyager 23.04, stable version, and the OS type is a 64-bit. GNOME version is not available right now. It will be available after typing some commands or opening the GNOME desktop environment apps. You should be having GNOME version. And the Windows system version is a X11. Virtualization is a VMware. Kernel version is 6.2.0-20. The version of kernel is similar in every Ubuntu or Ubuntu flavors of 23.04 version. So this is the Linux kernel available right now. So let me close this thing and let's check out the system monitor and see what's struggling with the. And here you can see that's the reason it was a bit of delay. The CPUs are going very crazy here. There is a lot of high peak here, almost like 30 to 40 seconds. Before the 30 seconds it was a bit low, but now you can see that's always high peak. Even the beta version has a high peak after the launching of the system monitor. And if you are seeing here in the RAM, it's almost a 2 GB of RAM. In the beginning only it is almost a 2 GB. So if you ask me it's for low end PC, so it's completely no, and my answer is no, because people who has a 2 GB of RAM, you are not going to use this Linux distro, because it's going to be way laggy and it will be a mental torture for you, because it's almost 2 GB now. And with the 2 GB of RAM, it should be like a 1.8 GB. You will get a 1.8 GB of 2 GB of RAMs. So it's almost more 200 MB more just in the beginning. And I'm going to show you the system monitor again at the end of the video after running through all the apps, software, settings, all those things. And you will be having an idea of how much resources are consumed. And you will be the one who should judge the Linux distro, whether to use this Linux distro or not. So here are the information. If you want to write it down, you can write it down, or you just need to put the video side by side of the beginning of the video, ending of my video. So you will be having the exact values of memory and CPU in front of you. So let's check about the version. It's a GNOME 44 desktop environment. So every app of the GNOME desktop environment will be versioned as 44. So remember that thing. That's the basic and common thing. So let's close this thing and open the terminal, because we need to grab some of the distro info. Let's try to get the distro info. There is a terminal here. So let's check the terminal information, which is version 3.48.0 for GNOME 44. So let me type in the command, which is inxi-sv8 to get all the distro info. This is the command you need to type in the terminal to get all the distro info. So let's try to change the background color so you can see properly. So let's go to unnamed and colors. Choose the Tango Light, and you should be having a good view of the terminal commands or the terminal info. Host is a Voyager Linux and kernel is a 6.2, which I already mentioned. It's a 64-bit architecture. Compiler not available right now. GNOME version is 44. Previously it was not seen in the settings where the about operating system is there. It didn't show up. Not available was the title for that, but here is the 44.0. GTK version is 3.24.37. You need to say 0.37 after the point. You should say 37 instead of 37, so you should remember that. So GDM3 version 44.0. Distro is Ubuntu 23.0 Lunar Lobster. It's based on Lunar Lobster Ubuntu 23.04. And of the machine, it says a VMware because I'm using it in a VMware as a virtualization. And the RAM is almost a 2 GB or 4 GB of RAM. And this is my CPU. If you want to look it out, all the info of the CPU, here is the CPU info. So let's slowly scroll it down and find some other info. VMWGFX version is 2.20.00. XVLAN version is 22.1.8. XORG is 1.21.1.7. And display is X11. Server is XORG. So let's try to find another info. So OpenGL version is 4.1. Mesa is 23.0.2. So these are some of the info. If you want to go through all these things, you can go through. And I'm using a 80 GB of hard disk for the virtualization or a VMware. So it says 80 GB here. So let's scroll it down slowly and find other info. And the shell bash version is a 5.2.15. And GCC version is 12.2.0. And INXI version is 3.3.25. And systemd version is 252, where uptime is 9 minutes and processors running right now are 298. Let's type in some of the commands which are same as the above one but in a short form. So these are the commands to get the distro info in a short form, which is INXI. So another one is INXI-G. Hit enter. And let's type in another command which is INXI-b and hit enter. These are all the same information of the distro like above one but in a short form. And let's type in cat:/etc/issue and hit enter. It's Ubuntu 23.04. Let's try in neofetch. We already got all the distro info, but let's try in the neofetch. No problem for that. So here is a neofetch. So let's type in htop. Let's see htop is also installed. Htop is not installed or pre-installed, so let's try to install it by copying the command which is sudo apt install htop and paste it here and hit enter. It's going to take like 12 seconds for maximum to install the htop. We should be having our htop in any second. 80% almost, we should be having our htop. Let's type in htop and hit enter. Here is the htop. Here is the memory. Here are the CPUs. Tasks are 119. So these are the info. If you want, you can read it. I already showed the GNOME version of the terminal. So these are the information. Let me close this and let me show you the official website or the downloading process of the Voyager Linux. By launching the Firefox web browser, again it's going to take 20 seconds maximum because Firefox is the default browser for every Linux distro and Ubuntu flavored Linux distros also, or Ubuntu-based Linux distros. So let's check the version of the Firefox, which should be 311 because Ubuntu has 311 right now, but we have 311 too. This is the latest version of Firefox and it has also a point update. Here is the point update which is 1. So let's type in the URL which is Voyager Linux, or you can type in Voyager Live. Let's type in Voyager. So this is the official website which is voyagerlive.org. So let me click on the link, and here is the system information running right now of the CPU, RAM and the Linux. All the things is here, so you will be having some info here too. So this is the URL. If you want to type in directly, you can type in like this, And let's scroll it down. If you want to explore everything, you can explore it here. So the Voyager 23.04 is available right here. You can download. Distribution kernel is 6.2, and the available desktop environments are GNOME 44. I'm sorry, and the Xfce 4.18. And in GNOME desktop environment, this is the latest version, which is 44. In Xfce, it's 4.18, and the latest version of Xfce is 4.18.4. So if you want to go through Voyager 23.04, click on Voyager 23.04. If you want to get the information, you can go through all the release notes, all these things. So if you want to read it, you can read it. So here are the information. I already showed every information of the distro, so no need to worry. If you want, you can go through all these settings, or the information here is available. So I'm going to show you the just download process. So let's click on download. It's going to open the SourceForge website, because I think they have the SourceForge server to download. They uploaded their files in that. So let's choose the SourceForge mirror. We don't have any choice. So here is the file size, which is around 4.2 GB of ISO file size, and you should always verify that it's the version you clicked and the version you are getting should be same. And now we are downloading a Voyager 23.04. So this is the download process. I think I showed the download process on the official website. So let's go with the installation process. This is the application or the software to open the installer. You already know, and I don't need to show you that, because you should be using the Linux distro before. So it should take like a 30 to 40 seconds, a maximum, or minimum like 20 to 30 seconds. Depends upon the Linux distro, depends upon the CPU resources consuming, all that things. So it is taking a bit of time here. Instead of waiting for the application to load up, let's go with the desktop features, which are available right here. These are all the desktop features, which is a GNOME desktop 44. Here is a user, and this some of the notification or settings available right here. The GNOME desktop environment has some background apps here under the under this settings. You should be seeing the background apps after installation. I didn't install it, so it's going to just say the live things or live media available right here. So that's wired and powered nightlight, dark style, auto rotate. I don't know what is caffeine. Let's try to open this thing. I think this is a great what you call it, a break time, I guess, or a sleep mode, like that, I guess. So these are the features. These are the file manager or issue manager. Let's check the not donate. I accidentally clicked donate. It's going to open the Firefox web browser. So let's quickly close this thing and check the version of the which is 1.9 Ubuntu 21.04.1. I don't know what happened to the installer. Let's try to open it again, whether it is working or not. I think you saw how much time is taking for the installation process and some settings, because it's a very heavyweight Linux distro, in my opinion. I don't know about you. It is taking a lot of time to load up anything. So let's see what are this is a clipboard feature, and this is the language selection. This is a time and calendar. These are the same basic GNOME 44 things. So let's go back to the installation process. First, you need to choose the language. This is a common thing, and this is not a complicated installation process. It's always the same in every Linux distro, so you don't need to be worried. I don't know, there's some weird mouse pointer is showing, which is a scroll option. I'm going to choose the English language as a for the installer. It's going to open up the keyboard layout now. You can choose any language you have or you want. I'm going to keep it as English United States on both sides. There are several different types of keyboard. Now mouse is working properly. Before it was having like a scrolling thing. Click on continue. It's going to take few seconds. And updates and other software. I'm just going to run through all this fast because it's going to take a lot of time. Normal installation has everything like a web browser, utilities, office software, games, media players. This is the best setting if you ask me, because minimal installation just has a web browser and a basic utilities. Basic utilities should be having like a mousepad, text editor like that, and some calculator like that things. So it's better option to go with a normal installation, because after downloading a 5 GB of a file size or ISO file, it's always better to go with a normal installation, because you don't download for 5 GB for just for the minimal installation. There are a lot of lightweight Linux distro for that. So on the other options, you should be checking out or clicking out the download updates while installing Voyager, and install third-party software, because it's going to help for the installation. If you want to do that, you can do that after the installation process on your own. If you're a normal user, you better click on these things. I'm not warning you, I'm just saying you, because it's a better option to do that right now. So let's click on continue. It's going to prepare the Ubuntu drivers. It's going to take a maximum of 30 seconds or minimum of a few seconds, depends on the Linux distro. You can't just say how much time it takes, because it takes in different timings in every Linux distro. It doesn't have the new Ubuntu installer. None of the Ubuntu flavor has a new installer, just the Ubuntu GNOME desktop environment has the new installer. The new installer is pretty much very fast, but the older one are still struggling, like preparing Ubuntu drivers. All these things are going right now still in every Ubuntu flavor. If you don't know what I'm saying, just check out my Ubuntu flavors of 23.04. You will be having an idea of installation process. So it's almost done, I guess. As you can see, there is preparing Ubuntu driver is stopped. So here is the installation type. You need to be very careful while choosing this option, because it's going to delete everything or erase everything. If you choose this option, it's going to delete the operating system or erase the operating system and delete everything like files, media formats, all these things, media files, music, all this going to be deleted if you choose this thing, and it's going to boot it in a single boot. So if you choose something else, you need to be providing, or you could change the partitions resize, like a dual booting also is available like this. You need to choose or resize your partition here. So I'm just going to choose the erase disk and install Voyager, and I want to boot it in a single boot. So I'm going to choose this option. I'm not going to install it right now because I don't want to. I'm just going to show you the process. And these are some of the information, or these are some options available, like encrypting new disk, all these options. So let's cancel, let's choose this thing. And after clicking the installation button, install now, it's going to take a maximum of 20 minutes or minimum like 5 to 10 minutes, depends on your Linux distro, depends on your PC. So after install now, it's going to take some time, and you need to be have patience for that. It's better to grab a coffee like that and wait for a few seconds. So after the installation, it's going to say finish and reboot your system. After reboot, you should be having your operating system. If you choose the single boot, you should be having a single operating system. If you choose the dual boot, like something else or manual partitioning, you should be having a dual operating system running right in your PC. So that's the installation process. So let me close this installation thing, and let's go through all these applications available or pre-installed apps available. So on the first page, these are the apps available right now, and these are some of the new icons of LibreOffice. You already know. This is the second page. As you can see here, they gave a lot of apps. So this is the third page, and you can see, and there is a Pac-Man game. You already know, people who born in the 90s know the Pac-Man game. Everyone loves the Pac-Man game. So that's a good game, and mine's every 90s kids know this. Even I know this game. So that's the pre-installed apps. Let's check the desktop wallpaper and some desktop features. We already saw the notifications, all these things. So let's check the desktop wallpapers. This is a pretty good wallpaper already, but let's choose another wallpaper if it's available. These are the accent color. Let me show you the red color. Let's see the red color. And there is a bit of delay or a bit of lag, as you can see. And this is also a heavy resource consuming Linux distro, if you ask me. I'm going to show you the system monitor after all these things, and we should be having an idea of how much resources are consumed. Before it was like a 2 GB just in the beginning. So let's see after the all this running through apps run through. I think we should see the settings now. On the network settings, nothing is changed. On the Bluetooth, nothing is changed. On the appearance, nothing changed, just some desktop wallpapers, that's it. And on the Ubuntu desktop, these are the things changed, like enhanced tiling. On the notifications, nothing changed. On the search, nothing changed. On the multitasking, I don't know what's changed here. So on the apps, nothing changed. On the privacy, connectivity, screen lock, location services, files, diagnostics. And in the GNOME 44 desktop environment, you should be having like a device manager. I think you should be getting after the installation, I guess. So online accounts, just some style is changed, nothing changed other than that. Sharing, same. On the sounds, it is also same. On the power is also same. On the display settings, nothing changed. I think night light is changed, I guess. Mouse and touchpad, this is changed because the new animation is available right here, as you can see. And on the keyboard, nothing changed. Printers, nothing changed. Removable media, nothing changed. Region and language, accessibility has changed. These are all the available options right now, like a seeing, hearing, typing, pointing and clicking. And on the zoom, these are all the new things available right in the GNOME 44 desktop environment. And this is the users default apps, date and time, and this is the about. Now GNOME version should be available, but still it's not available right here. I already showed the GNOME version in the terminals, so you don't need to be worrying about that. So let's check the file manager information, or the about file manager. So these are the website. So let's close this thing and open the app store. Box Voyager GNOME, let's see what is this thing. So these are the, let's check the night mode, dark mode. These are some of the options. If you want to customize on your own. So let me close this thing and open the software manager. I think we covered everything, I guess. I opened the software manager because I don't want to launch every app and show you the version. So I'm going to show you the version right here of the important apps. I don't want to open every app, and you just need to be having information that it's GNOME 44, and the available apps, or the apps which comes with the GNOME desktop environment, should be versioned with 44.0. So no need to open the GNOME desktop environment apps. So like for example, calendar, calculator, all the versions should be 44, like maps, all these things. So I'm just going to show you the other apps of which are not related to, or not the GNOME desktop environment pre-installed apps. So let's go, for example, let's scroll it down. GIMP version should be like a 2.10.30, like that. Let's see. Let's scroll it down and find the, ignore my background noise because like keyboard, mouse, or some kids, because kids are also playing outside. So the version is 2.10.34 of a GIMP. And LibreOffice, it should be like a 7.5.2. This is the latest version of LibreOffice. Let's see what else we left here is mousepad. Mousepad version is 0.5.10 or 10 MPV. It's a media player, and the version is 0.35.1 Parallel media player. Version is 4.18.0 because it's a Xfce. PTV, it's a 2022.06 version. Rhythm box, 3.4.6, and Restrato image viewer 0.12.4. Shotwell 1. Like that, I think it's a 0.30.18. What else we left here is a text editor, I think just a few apps, 44. What else we left still here is nothing. That's good. So let's check the updates. Updates are up to date. Last check 3 days ago. If you want, you can check the updates, I guess. On the preference side and on the software repositories, I think you can check the updates right here. So I think we covered everything, I guess. This is a private Firefox web browser. On the dock, we have a Firefox web browser, file manager, text editor, notes, agenda, private, smtube, software manager, and some of the applications. So these are some of the info here. So let's close this thing and open the system monitor. Again, it is taking or delaying to close. Just struggling for it. There's no updates. We checked right now, as you can see. So let me close this thing and open the system monitor and end the video. And let's go to the process first. Here are all the processes running right now. And on the resource side, the RAM is almost 2.2 GB, which is good still because we opened more apps. Beginning of the video it was 2.2 GB or 1.9 GB. Right now it's a 2.2 GB. That's still good. And the CPU is also good right now. Ignore the network because we don't need to know the network. We just care about the CPU and RAM. So here is the CPU and RAM. So let's close the video and let me show you my channel and end the video. This part is only for the viewers who want to watch my content without subscribing. People who already subscribed, no need to worry about this. Just skip this step. So in order to go to my channel, you need to type in youtube.com/9to5linux and click on enter. If you're using a web browser, just type in youtube.com/9to5linux like this. For example, this is the URL. If you're using a YouTube app, just type in 9to5linux and you should be seeing my channel. I changed the banner and the logo. So this is my new logo and channel. Not the channel, it's a banner of wallpaper, and this all the things are changed. So let's quickly go to the about section. And I want to point out this thing, like I will be posting 2 videos daily without missing any day. So if you are here for the daily content, I will be posting 2 videos daily without missing any day. So this is the channel for you, and these are the timings I will be posting. So if you already subscribed, no need to check it out. If you didn't subscribe, here is the timings. You need to visit at this timing. The content should be available before the timings because I will put it in a premiere mode. So you should be having you should be having an idea of what content available that day. So here is the community page. I'll be giving the latest news information here. For example, like this, packages, distribution, any information available, I will be posting here. So if you are here only for the Linux content, just go to the playlist and find Linux, and you will be click on view full playlist under a Linux playlist. I made around like 1571 videos, like almost 1.6k videos of different or variety types of Linux distros. Almost 70 to 80% of different Linux distros available in this world. So if you want to play all or shuffle, do anything you want. So if you want to find the specific term or a specific Linux distro, for example, type in here. For example, I'll give you a Voyager Linux. Let's type in Voyager, and here are the latest videos or the latest content. As you can see, I made a beta version, Jellyfish, all the Jellyfish, all the older versions also. So you just need to type in the search term and the videos will be available, because I covered like 70 to 80% of the every Linux distro. Even the discontinued version, beta version, alpha version, whatever it is, you name it, I will be having a video here. So that's the point or the main thing I want to point it out or trying to explain you, that I will be providing every latest content. As soon as the ISO file is released, I will be making a content here. So you don't need to be waiting for some other channels. So if you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you not, it's clearly up to you. I respect your opinion, no problem for that. Let's close this thing and end the video. Let's shut it down. And again, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out.